Key number one, know your client. What do you think I mean by that? Well, I think that people buy emotionally, but they rationalize it logically. So it's this emotional versus logical need. Let me explain what I mean by that. Now, I wear a suit every single day when I work. So there I was trying on a new suit. You know when you put the suit on in the dressing room, they make you come out and they make you stand on a little pedestal. They put you in one of those three-way mirrors that shows all my imperfections. Well, so there I was standing in one of those mirrors. The tailor's kind of poking around, fitting up my suit, getting it to fit correctly. And this young lady walks by and says, "Wow, that suit makes you look thin." At which point I said, "I'll take it." But when I got home, I sit there and show my wife, I said, "Honey, look at my beautiful new suit. I got it on sale." Now, why did I tell my wife I got it on sale? Folks, I bought it emotionally, but I rationalized it logically. Now, think to yourself, have you ever presented a solution to a prospect or a customer and it made total logical sense? It could either save them a ton of money, it could save them time, or it could really help them get to where they want to go. And it made all types of logical sense to go with that proposal. But do they always do it? No. Even though it made logical sense, why? Because people don't buy logically. They buy emotionally. And you need to understand their emotional needs. That is key to being really good in sales. And most of the time, people do not take care of the emotional need. They simply take care of the logical need. Have you ever said or thought, you know what, I heard one of your employees say, you know what, I fixed the problem. Why is the customer still upset? Well, it's probably because you didn't take care of their emotional need. The next is really listening to understand versus listening to respond. Let me explain what I mean by that too, because this is a key piece here. I mean, how do most people listen? Have you ever talked to somebody and as you're talking, they're going, I mean, they're trying to jump in when you're talking. What are they really saying? I think they're saying, you know what, why don't you be quiet, because what I have to say is more important than what you're saying. So there I was, my wife, Kelly, gives me a call. And I can tell something's a little bit wrong. I said, "Hey, honey, what's going on?" And she says, "Honey, I'm a little bit upset with your son, Jack." All of a sudden, Jack's my son. And I said, "Well, what's going on?" And she says, "I just got to drop him off at tennis practice. And when I got to his tennis lesson, I got him out of the car. I realized he didn't have any shoes on." So I asked the obvious question. I'm like, "Honey, well, how come when you put Jack in the car, why didn't you look at his feet?" Now, let me ask you this. Was I listening to respond or listening to understand? And how well do you think my wife appreciated my advice? So make sure you're listening to really, truly understand versus listening to respond to your customer. So I see a lot of you like that listen to understand versus listen to respond. I appreciate some of the comments and questions. And just let you know at the end of this, we'll definitely be able to answer some of your questions. Then the next key is talking about discovery. It's really about asking the right questions and listening. It's about really having a process in place that really lets you understand the customer's current situation, their desired situation, and also what are their expectations of you, your product, or your service too, before you ever present a solution to them. So it's really about taking the time to understand them and have a process in place that allows you to do the discovery you need to. Because here's what I think. I think everybody thinks their situation is totally different and unique. Would you agree? I mean, how many times have you worked with a customer and they said, you know what, hey, you might have worked with another small dry cleaners before, but our dry cleaner, we're a little bit different. I see a lot of you think the same thing too. I think everybody thinks their situation is totally different and unique. So as a salesperson or as a business owner, you have to take the time to really let them communicate to you what is their difference. Even though you might see them as the exact same, they think they're different.